family. Welcome to the Spiritual Counseling TV network. My name is Christie Ramirez and I'm your soul coach. Welcome to your daily morning spiritual guidance. Now, because today I'm going to give it to you for free, and we're going to do a little sample of what we do every day, exclusive only at the Spiritual Counseling TV network, which you definitely want to become a member today at christieramirez.com/TV. Make sure to be reading your weekly and monthly newsletters when you sign up to my free mailing list, and also watch the other exclusive shows that I also give on a weekly basis. They're all exclusive only on my YouTube channel. You got little samples, but the whole entire deal is here in the network. So I want to begin by giving you a few updates. Today is Thursday, February 11th, 2021. Now today we do have a new moon in Aquarius. So it's a very special day because as part of my body, mind, and spirit health and wellness brand, I do some free shows. I do a spiritual talk and I do a spirituality retreat where we do either sambo healing sessions for new moons, and we do more bonfire ceremonies for full moons. And this is about talking about the energies, what's going to help us to stay in spiritual alignment and purify during these times, and where should our focus be. So you definitely want to watch those events. It will be posted by this weekend for sure. And follow me on that Instagram page at Christie Ramirez _body, mind, spirit. Make sure to also follow me on my spiritualcounseling.tv Instagram page for your daily heavenly podcast show. It's only a minute long, absolutely free. Right there on the page, you have access to all of them, Monday through Fridays, and a quote of the day when you click the story. It's very, very amazing, and it's just wonderful messages from God, from heaven, to help to illuminate us and guide the path to light. And today I want to also invite you to purchase my Lightworker University event 2020 to 2021. This is where I spoke and did a speech about the rebirth that's happening this year and the awakening that happened in 2020. And you're going to know what I'm talking about. I basically give you month by month guidance for this entire year of 2021. And you can purchase this event or rent it if you like, but I would suggest purchase it because it's only $1 more. And then you can watch it throughout the year, month by month. christieramirez.com/Lightworker University. You can learn more about that. Lightworker University is where all my motivational speeches take place. I also did a very important speech in 2020 in the theme of London, UK, and it was a 3-day event. The first day we talked about equality, the second day about hope, and the third day about love. Now I really feel like those messages that I spoke about there are still relevant to this year, because remember that we're still in this transformation and metamorphosis in a way, like we're still working on what needs to change. Remember that we also have a Chinese New Year with this new moon in Aquarius this week. So technically in astrology it's said, because I have an ancient astrology class in my School of Light, so if you want to learn more about this ancient wisdom that I'm talking about, definitely be a member there too, so you can get access to all my classes. And the Chinese New Year is literally this week, so this is the official New Year. So you might all have felt and wondered why ever since the New Year started, things still weren't in place. Things weren't brand new, like this new chapter that I've been talking about didn't necessarily happen in January. And I actually did channel this in my journal. It was more of the reset. It was the final touches to making this new chapter begin. And it's going to begin at the end of this week, so starting next week, because this is at the end of this weekend basically is when this Chinese New Year happens, the 11th, which is tomorrow. And with this new moon in Aquarius, which is the Chinese New Year, it's going to set a lot of new positive energy in motion, a lot of abundance. We have set the framework for it to happen because it's important to be receptive, and not only receptive in your mind and even in your heart, but also energetically. So this is about making the changes that we've needed to make. And if you feel lost about what I'm talking about right now, I talk a lot about this in my weekly health guidance in my body, mind, and spirit. And individually, you all should be knowing what changes you need to make, especially if you're spiritually awake and spiritually in tune with God and what the angels are guiding you to. And if you have trouble having this guidance clear, then let me tell you that it might be a blocked spiritual eye, foggy vision, and perhaps out of alignment. It just comes to the core of that. And that's where soul coaching comes in. If you want to seek personal soul coaching for that, you can purchase your sessions right away. And I can help you with this because I do feel like there is a lot of confusion in the collective. And this is where people are getting left behind. I'm definitely feeling this strongly. You know, not everybody thinks like me or like others who are awake on the journey. Believe it or not, it's very few. And it's really sad. And I feel sorry for that because this is the whole purpose behind my business, right? But of course, it depends on the people to be receptive to what I'm saying, or even others are saying, to other light workers out there doing their job, continuing to show up, right? Because a lot of light workers haven't been showing up ever since, you know, what happened in last year, worldwide crisis. And, you know, it's really pushing us. God is pushing us to really hurry up because this is the irony, right? The world looks like it's going at a very slow motion pace, but the reality of it is very different. And that's just so, in a way, like just so, I guess shocking, because I feel like people have become more chill about their life and not taking action, forgetting about their dreams and hopes and visions for the future because of the fear that they're stuck in worldwide. They think that there's no hope, but that's absolutely the opposite. Before the best is yet to come, things have to be at its worst. That's how magnificent change happens. It needs to get at the worst before it can get at the best, right? So see this metaphor and apply it to what we're all going through worldwide. I know there's a lot of restrictions. I know that we feel like we're encapsulated, we're like in a prison and isolated from humanity, right? But you know what? It's been a blessing as well, because many of you have been in hermit mode, like myself, and I've learned to enjoy it. I've learned to enjoy my alone time with God. It's the most rewarding feeling ever that nothing superficial or even physically based can compare to. And this is what brings us to spiritual love, right? This one spiritual love that's awaiting for us in this new chapter. Trust me on that. And it's only for those who are still continuously pushing forward the challenges that we're all being confronted with. But you know what? It's a perspective. Because if you see a challenge as something that's unconquerable, then that's what you're going to get. But if you believe in these miracles, if you believe that you can do it, then guess what? You will do it. And let me tell you something, you know, I was doing some cleaning the other day and I came across an old journal. And this old journal I had written actually when I first opened this business. And one of the first talks that I ever did was about the law of manifestation. And I was talking about the difference between the soul and the difference between the ego. What was the difference between the soul and the ego? And I wrote like a little diagram, and on the left side I wrote soul and I underlined it, and under it I wrote quotation, I can do this. This is the self-talk that our higher self tells us from within. And this is what A Course in Miracles teaches us, right? When we're in this love vibration, it's because we are acting and embodying our higher self. We're not listening to the ego. Because the ego, I put it on the right side and I wrote, I cannot do this. Our ego will make you live in fear, will make you live in doubt, insecurities that are going to make you want to take it out on other people, which is called projection, through bullying. And all of that takes you farther away from love, which is the irony. By staying in this fear mentality, that's only because there's insecurities, doubts, and shadows and darkness that needs to be taken a look at. And in order to abolish and definitely dispose of the ego, we need to be willing to let it go. Let go of the fear, because that's holding you back from your best life ever. That's holding you back from the highest vibrational kind of love. So I encourage you all to definitely take a look at these series, A Course in Miracles, in my spiritual book club. I just promise you, I don't know how much I need to emphasize this, because I've been promoting this book for like over a year. It's changed my life around, and I know that it's going to do the same for you. I've been telling all my clients to take a look at that book, and the ones that have taken that chance, they've seen this transformation, this miraculous transformation also occur. And they've even been open to finding new love again, and many have found true love. Because this is just the way that it works. Okay, take a look at my love show. If you want to attract true love, you need to be in that love. There's just no other way. If you're in this darkness, taking a look at what other people have and what you don't have, like envy or jealousy, or like just feeling sorry for yourself, which is victimhood mentality, or resentfulness. There's so many emotions that are low vibrational, so negative. Brush it off, because that is not serving you. And that's what I talk about every time that I say let go, or when God tells us release the past, or when we talk about in my weekly therapy sessions, you know, we always talk about releasing traumas. Remember, traumas are not only traumatic events that happen in your life. Traumas can also be our own mental space, our own negative thinking that sabotages your progress, your soul evolution. And that's a huge message for this week specifically, because this is Valentine's week. And Valentine's is literally on Sunday, the last day of this week. So we have this whole entire week to work on healing ourselves, body, mind, and spirit, and returning to this love vibration so that we can attract love. And whether or not it's from a partner, which doesn't matter, because that's the icing on top of the cake. You should already be living in a space of love. You should be passionate about your life, waking up every morning and being so grateful to live another day, whether or not you have a partner by your side. Because think about it, you know, most of the high vibrational people are like the people who are very close to God, right? Let's bring in monks, let's bring in the Buddha, very enlightened masters that don't even have the need to have a partner, to have sexual encounters, right? Because that's not what spiritual love is. Spiritual love is more transcendent than that, and you can reach that, but only if you believe it. This ethereal realm is calling us this week for us to connect with our spirit guides, with God, and with the true magic that life has to offer. And that's the experiment that God has come about with us living here on earth, right? Which is where cosmic consciousness comes in, and of course all of this higher knowledge that I teach in my School of Light. So if you want to get a bigger picture of what we're all living in, of what you're living in, what you're experiencing, and you want to know more about your spiritual journey, trust me that I was so enthusiastic at the beginning of my journey. It's truly another world, and it's going to change your life forever when you're open to that new world, because this is the moment now. This week, do it. Take a look at my upcoming sales. I'm going to have a February sale coming up soon that has a lot to do with my new journal coming up soon as well. My new journal will be launched by the end of this week, the Rebirth 2021 Gratitude and Spiritual Guidance Journal. Now I know I'm late. I know. I tend to struggle with this a lot in my life, to be honest, which is a habit that I need to change if I'm being honest. But to be honest as well, it was channeled at just the right moment. I never argue with God as to why God makes me be late sometimes, because there's always a reason. And the reason is that we need this journal now more than ever in this Chinese New Year. So you definitely want to purchase that journal. And I do give a sneak peek of 2022 so that you can start working on that at the end of the journal. So it's very great timing to purchase this journal. And make sure that as soon as I launch it, which will be perhaps by next Monday, you purchase it right away, because it will take like a week to receive it from Amazon. So you definitely don't want to get any more delayed than that. And I will be making a special sale about that. So you definitely don't want to miss out. So let's get started now with the spiritual guidance. Let's get started. It's the time now. Let me have some coffee. Check out my new recipes for this week. I give you a lot of Valentine's ideas so that you can either spend it with your lover, if it's your spiritual lover, or just alone, or with your family, or someone that you love. Let's get some spiritual guidance for today on Thursday, February 11th. And I'm feeling today is like a very magical day. The 11th is always a very special day. And right away we have it's you versus you, love more and be you. So this is definitely a self-love day. And I'm telling you, especially for the single people out there, this week, don't focus so much on the love that's not around you, like a romantic love, but be that love for yourself. I talk about this in last week's motivational speech, and even in the therapy sessions, we learn about recovering from relationship trauma, which probably could be setting back a lot of people from finding true love. Because believe it or not, whether you're in a relationship or not, even if you're in a relationship, it doesn't guarantee that you're happy, right? So I could be talking to you too right now. So it's important that you learn to love yourself first, because this is what's going to attract the love, and your partner or potential partner out there somewhere will see it in you as well. So realize that there's no need to compare yourself to anyone or to other couples or what other people have, because you know what? You need more love in your life. This is definitely the message from God, from our angels. And let's get our manifesto daily affirmations. Let's see. Definitely only look up, remember that relationships are also related to media. And this is a whole other conversation, right? When it comes to like social media and influencers out there. And you really need to be careful who you're following. And just realize if that person or that energy is lifting your spirit after you take a look at that post or whatever it is, even if it's music, right? Because there's a lot of subliminal messages in music. Let me tell you that ever since I started my spiritual journey, like wholeheartedly, like 2 years ago, I stopped listening to like mainstream music. And what a difference that has made, because I didn't realize how brainwashed music can get you. And it's very sad that especially people who drive a lot or are out all day and just have like the radio on all day, you don't realize how much music, and I'm not saying all of them because there is a lot of high vibrational artists out there, but you really need to know who is the high vibrational artist, right? Because believe it or not, just because it's mainstream, because it's popular, doesn't mean it's good for you. Remember this quote, and it's going to definitely change your life. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that it's the right thing. And just because nobody's doing it doesn't mean it's the wrong thing. So actually listen to those people that stand out, who are doing something different. And you can say controversial, but it's just really more just the right way, right? It's the godly way. So this is about using your intuition. Definitely use a lot of discernment, because society itself can bring a lot of confusion, and we don't want to be meshed up in that and not choose wisely, and then let our life be taken by unwise decisions because you're not thinking clearly. So that's definitely a message for today. And let's get our affirmation then for today as well. What can make us more confident? I am spiritually disciplined, and I inspire others to do the same. This is definitely about spiritual discipline. I know, there's already a lot of people who are already sucked in to the norm, the mainstream. That's not the correct way. This is how, peer pressure happens. The people you hang around with influence your life, your decisions, your thinking, your belief system. And you want to strip away from that and learn to be teachable again from God. And this requires a lot of spiritual discipline. The monks and the Zen people and the masters, the enlightened masters, are the most disciplined people to ever walk this earth. And this is my daily motivation, my daily inspiration, because I want to be just like that. And every day I am getting closer to that. Because my discipline, I always make sure it's impeccable. Because I know that I have a bigger purpose. I have a huge responsibility. Showing up here always in my high vibrational self, staying in positivity, believe it that it's not faked. Because I'm not a very good faker, to be honest. I am very much an open book when it comes to my emotions. So imagine that if I would just show up here and I'm not in my highest vibrational self, or I'm out of alignment, do you think that's going to motivate people or inspire people? Definitely not. So this is just a message for all of you listening today, that whatever it is that you do in life, whatever temptations you're being confronted with, and believe it or not, the temptations are not the classic temptations that you might think. Temptations can literally be a temptation to react in anger, or to respond at all, or to even just ruminate negative thinking. Those are temptations in and of itself from entities that don't serve you. So you need to be willing to kind of turn on your light up the candle literally, and dispel of all that darkness, because those are shadows that everybody deals with in life. And just because you're dealing with that right now doesn't mean you're a bad person, but it definitely means that you need to do a lot of healing work. And this is where my New You 10-week soul coaching program comes in. I create it, and structured this program just for this transition phase that people go through. I went through it myself. So I bring in my experience. I'm talking from experience, and I'm bringing also my psychology background and expertise. And all of this combined into this perfect program. The book is also in progress, so that's going to be probably, I know a lot of people like to read more than actually listen to videos, so maybe that's going to be a better action for you. But anyways, I really recommend that you give that program a chance. You can purchase it right now, christieramirez.com/unuu. And then finally, let's end with an angel message. Let's end with some positive vibes, confirmations. Our angels are always surrounding us and they're always guiding us. So remember to trust your intuition. I've already learned this so much in my life that I never doubt my intuition anymore, because I know that I'm very intuitively gifted. So whatever my intuition tells me right away, I'm gonna go with it, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, because after I will see what God meant. And I inspire you, should I say, I encourage you to do the same. Don't doubt your intuition, whether this is a relationship decision you need to make, a career change, or just changes that you need to make in your life, or whatever it is. Whether you're, work a lot with people and you need to read people, whatever it is, just listen to your intuition. You are the expert of your life. And let's see what the angels want to say, if they want to say anything at all. And right away, see, that's how it works. The wheel of life. This is what you reap, you sow. So make sure that every interaction, everything that you put out energetically into the universe, whether that be through words, whether that be through writing, whether that be through actions, make sure it's positive and high vibration, because believe it or not, that will get reflected back to you. It's like a cycle. God is always watching you. God is the ultimate judgment day, you can say, right? And I know that sounds scary to some people, but it shouldn't, because if it scares you, that means that probably you do something wrong, right? So if you are actually happy that God is watching, like for me, I'm like, thank God that God is the ultimate judgment day person, right? Because there's a lot of things that I can't do to control other people's actions or other people's thoughts, and there's also not a lot of control that I have, which is why I've learned to just let it go. I live my life very unattached to other people. And this is a skill that I've had to develop as a therapist, hardcore, because if not, it would have done me emotionally damage, right? So this is about God bringing in this new beginnings to the people who deserve it. You're being rewarded. For all of you who have been doing these works, the changes that you've needed to be made, the people who have completed their healing. And for those of you who are just getting started on your healing, this is a new beginning for you, a new cycle to make this healing and transformation happen. This is the end of all delays, a change in direction that will offer more happiness. So for those of you who have been doing the work, these are just little final touches and upgrades to bring in more abundance and happiness. And for those of you who are just getting started, this U-turn and detour towards your soul path, that is your true destiny, your true fate, is going to offer you more emotional fulfillment and happiness. And that's a wonderful message from our angels today. So that's it for today. Happy Valentine's, everyone, this weekend. And definitely, of course, I'm always here every day at the Spiritual Counseling TV Network with your dailies. So if you're a member, I'll see you all tomorrow. And if not, I'll see you all next week. Have an amazing and beautiful day. Namaste.